We're sat laughing at my feet. So, hello, how are you? Josh?
Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to 8260. It is our 2022 Green Star Awards this evening, and I welcome all of our wonderful parents, guests, friends, and pets, I'm sure it's working somewhere, on site and also online. We have a few students that are joining us from overseas, and we hope that they can hear us and see us now. This year has been a really important year for us. It's been a year of overcoming challenge. I'm talking about operational challenge. There's something called the post-COVID effect. I know we're all tired of talking about that C word, but believe you me, there's a lot of residual elements that we need to recognize. And those elements cause a lot of tiredness, cause a lot of strain, which leads to arguing, discomfort. That's not just amongst our students, that's amongst families. And it happens in all of our families. And we notice this generally. It also happens amongst staff, especially towards the end of the year. And we acknowledge that we are humans. We have our good days and our bad days. And our good days are great, but we have to acknowledge that sometimes we are going to have bad days. Especially after not just a year that feels like it's 1 year long. 2022 to me, as I was just chatting to Ronnie, in fact, it's the culmination of a 3-year experience. If you think back, do the maths, think about your feelings, your experiences over this period. The residual effects that I'm talking about are larger than we care to realize. And during this December break, and I really implore you all to take a good break. I know it's expensive. I know we have got ESKOM, petrol, whole range of cost of living impacts. But I implore you to find some way just to take a step back. You, for yourself, and for your family. And all take that vital time off together somehow, some way. Doesn't have to be exotic or some sexy location or a fancy restaurant or a weekend away. It's something basic. In your garden, something unusual. You take that time, dedicate that time to just being you and you and your family together. Wow. Imagine what a change that could be and set us all up for a very positive 2023. I also want to welcome you this evening to our building site. There's a lot happening here at 8260 and our surrounds. In March, April, we were assured that we would be moving our car parking arrangements, our drop-off and collection zones. We were told that everything would be moved downstairs, that we'd have nothing to worry about. Unfortunately, in the building world, things don't work according to plan. And unfortunately, despite my best efforts, my stamp in my foot, some terse emails, unfortunately, the results have been pretty dramatic, pretty promising, but delayed, beyond our control. So I say thank you very much for tolerating the restricted entering and leaving our parking premises. What I can tell you is that we've already started opening up the new entrance to 8260. It will be into what is now currently the lower play area. That lower play area will become a new entrance with 3 lanes to get out of the car in your own time in a safe and unhurried fashion, and then enter the building through our basement entrance. We also hope to be building a lift access, which will be to the rear of this building, so we'll be able to take care of all types of access required. Because really, we are a neurodiverse school, and we want to make sure that we're not just neurodiverse, but neurodiverse in the true sense, which is of course the enablest, which is all about looking after the needs of disabled people in wheelchairs physically. We are looking after the unseen challenges, that's the neurodiverse, and of course the educationally challenged people, which is not just the barriers to learning around economics, family impact, social environment, it's beyond that. For instance, it might be a temporary situation, occurrence, where a student might witness something impactful, which could then upset their anxiety levels, and then that would impact their learning, and they would require a neurodiverse setting for a while. So I welcome a huge diverse community here this evening, because we are looking after some very special children, and it is an absolute pleasure, and I'm so proud of what they've achieved. And we're going to be toasting and celebrating that this evening. I also want to mention that we are going to be streamlining, that is simplifying the schooling pathways that we offer. We have got a new pathway, which we call the Key School, and during the Key School intervention phase, we'll be looking after reading programs and fundamental skills, so that our children will be best enabled a little bit later on to access a more traditional line of curriculum. Above the Key School, in performance terms, we have the Pivot School, which formerly, up until recently, was known as the Support School. And the Pivot School will be driving the ASDAN program, which is an international accreditation program, which we are bringing and marketing in South Africa through SARS to businesses, because the whole point of the Pivot School is to reach a level of status where the students feel that they can integrate with communities. And of course, we want a student to find a suitable employment. After the Pivot School comes the Academic School, which is our Cambridge School program, and we are reaching huge levels of success there in such a short space of time. I'm really proud of what the team has achieved. Our students are working hard, and they are achieving where they need to achieve. Some of our students are on track for university entrance. And our flagship offering is our Vocational Academy. Our Vocational Academy is going from strength to strength. Our program is becoming well known, and we're building on the program and the offering in the coming years. There are a couple of older past students here as well, and I welcome you. It's lovely to see you guys back on site. You are now the oldies, and it would be great for you guys to actually introduce yourselves to some of the new students as we go along. So I'm sure that will motivate them as well. I also want to draw your attention to our new occupational college. This is a Saturday-only offering. We will be targeting our neurodiverse and our economically challenged older students in the age range above 18 to 35. The youth range that we cater to tops out technically at the age of 35. We will be looking to support students younger than that, but we need to follow international definitions as well. So that's a Saturday-only operation, which we will gradually implement. Our first session, our first class, is due to start at the beginning of February. We're really excited for that. Apparently there are 90 students already that have expressed interest. Our foundation is finally coming to fruition. Our foundation is all about recognizing the Commonwealth, which I was fortunate enough to be introduced to. I'm talking about I'm talking about the Secretariat. I'm talking about the good work that a massive former colonialist entity, is now trying to shift their emphasis away from those traditional stereotypes, those negative traditional stereotypes, towards something far more positive, where they want to support Commonwealth, fellow Commonwealth countries. One of those initiatives is through Dr. Emil Fos, not Mr. Emil Fos anymore, Dr. Emil Fos. And it's through his connections, through the Disabled People's Organization, which is heavily connected to the Commonwealth Secretariat directly. And along with that, Edu360 and its policy initiatives, the changes that we want to see in the world, it looks like we're actually starting to make some traction. Now, of course, it will be some time before you see and hear the sort of programs that the team are putting together and planning to support, and most importantly, bring to our part of the world and bring to our students here at Edu360. When you start a foundation from scratch, and when you start it the right way, the proper way, doing the proper registrations with the proper support, it takes time. Sometimes a little bit longer than one would anticipate. But I'm pleased to say we are well on track. And in fact, Edu360 Foundation name has been registered, and we're on track with all the registrations that are required, hopefully towards the end of this year, in fact. Talking about our foundation, I'll talk about the foundation a lot more in 2023, but right now I want to highlight something that's very dear to Mr. Emil's heart. I did it again. Dr. Emil's heart. Sorry, Steve. What, you're going to have words with me tomorrow? Okay. 2023 has been termed the Year of the Youth. And what that means is there are going to be a whole range of programs, financial opportunities that will be made available directly for our youth. And our interest, our mutual interest here, is about the underrepresented component of the youth. We're talking about the neurodiverse individuals. They need to be looked after, they need to be spoken for. So that is our big plan at Edu360 for next year. We're going to be making a massive awareness program public, and we're going to be driving support for the underrepresented. I will explain all, and Dr. Emil will explain all next year. And lastly, I want to welcome a fantastic and capable lady. Her name is Jess Roberts. We invited her early this year to speak to our students. And the feedback was so positive that we felt only fitting that we invite her here tonight to share her ideas, her thoughts, and introduce how she's walked her path to you guys as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Jess.
Granted, I've been to a grand total of 3 schools in my life, but even having taught in a number of schools since publishing my poetry book, something which I'll talk about in just a minute, I can honestly say that this school is unique in that, like Sarah was saying earlier, it doesn't feel like a school. It feels like so much more than that, like a community, a place where people can be seen and valued for who they are and accepted and helped, and just given the space to thrive. And I think that there's something so incredibly special about that. I have notes, I'm going to use them, but I'm going with them. When I was little, I was scared of stairs. And that sounds very random, even thinking back, occasionally I think about how ridiculous it was, but then I remember what it was like to be a 9-year-old girl when the bell rang. And suddenly a horde of children with very little knowledge or care for how loud their voices would be to people who have worked through sensitivity. When the bell rang, they just ran out from the classrooms into these stairwells. And if you were going from one class to another, it would just be this unbearable flow of noise. And so for a long time, I was absolutely terrified of stairways. They were my worst nightmare. And, you know, as a child, I was told I was smart. Too smart for my own good in a world in which being smart equates to being nerdy and being less than. 9-year-olds don't typically think it's very cool for somebody who prefers books and fictional characters to loud music and crude jokes. And so I spent a lot of my time as a youngster reading. I liked escapism. I loved Harry Potter, as I do. I'm going to ignore J.K. Rowling, but I loved any sort of book that would take me away from where I was and who I was. And as I got older, that escapist mind frame sort of transitioned into poetry, something which has been described by famous poet W.H. Auden as the clear expression of mixed thoughts. And there's a lovely poem by a footballer, actually, by the name of Tony Welsh. It's called Take This Pen. And it starts, to the kid they pick on because you're small. The kid they kick because you're tall. The kid they trick to watch you fall. Poetry is for you. It's for you. To the kid who's anxious every day, the last kid when they're picked to play, the quiet kid who has lots to say. Poetry is for you. I think if you had to tell the anxious, depressed, lonely little Jessica that poetry is for her, she probably would have struggled to believe you. How could something like poetry ever be mine? An art form so abstract and transient, yet at the same time timeless and gut-wrenching, deeply personal. How could anything like that ever belong to somebody who felt so misunderstood? She was sure that no one else struggled with the things she dealt with, the feelings she couldn't quite understand. No one else could have experienced them. They never expressed them anyway. I could barely recognize or handle my own thoughts and feelings, and so the thought of seeing someone else's soul laid bare on paper, as it were, seemed less than appealing to me. Looking back a few years and one published poetry book later, I can see that in a way, my reluctance in my younger years to deal with or verbalize my emotions is probably what drew me to poetry. The opportunity to put my own thoughts and feelings often confusing and overwhelming to a young girl who never heard the terms depression or anxiety, let alone know that they could apply to her own life, was something that allowed me to see more clearly what I was actually feeling, why I was feeling it, and therefore how to deal with it in a positive, healthy way. It also allowed me to better my relationships with the people around me, my parents and loved ones, and thus get the help that I needed to live a happier, less isolated life. Poetry gave me the words to name the dark cloud that seemed to hang over my head for days at a time, with no apparent reason, the writhing coil of thoughts within my mind, and the numerous other things that seemed at the time as unknowable and unconquerable as monsters beneath the bed. In the words of TV philanthropist and mental health advocate Fred Rogers, anything that is human is mentionable. Anything that's mentionable is manageable. When we talk about our feelings, to listen. Did you enjoy it? How can I go on after that? Started already. In the words of Fred Rogers, anything that's human is mentionable. Anything that's mentionable is manageable. When we talk about our feelings, they become less overwhelming, less upsetting, less scary. We share that important talk with people that we trust, and it helps us to know that we're not alone. If poetry gave me anything, it is that, the knowledge that I am not alone. In both my reading and writing, I've got to connect with other people who have struggled with the same things I struggle with. I felt the way that I feel. and just like me, found ways to carry on even when it seemed so incredibly difficult. After publishing my book, which is a collection of original poetry taken from various napkins and notebooks and unsent WhatsApp messages about my own struggle with depression, anxiety, OCD, and just mental health in general, I have been privileged enough to get to speak at a number of schools, sharing my story with other young people. And first of which is our wonderful, amazing EDU 60. It was just so incredible to get to share my story with this amazing group of young people, some of whom may be struggling with mental health issues, and others who are just struggling with the ups and downs of life in teenagerhood. I really love getting to just share my story, to offer some insight, comfort, or even just a listening ear for problems that we all go through, just like others did for me with their poetry. I'm forever grateful to EDU 260 for allowing me to speak to these wonderful students and add to the thriving mental health discourse which I've seen at this school, which honestly I've yet to see in any other school anywhere. Now more than ever, I believe it's vital not only to be informed about mental health, but also to know coping strategies to deal with emotions, thoughts, feelings in positive and constructive ways. Ways to deal with the struggles that we all face and yet are for some reason so unwilling to talk about. And boy, has 2022 been a year of struggles. It's been quite a change, as I think so mentioned, going from 2 years of hard lockdown to now, where we're all sitting in a room together and there is, not a mask in sight. That joke wouldn't have worked quite as well if there had been someone wearing a mask, so if you are, please, I need this, okay? 2022 has been a year of transition, and as always with transitions, there have been a plethora of added anxieties, just adding on to pre-existing financial, social, and emotional anxieties. In fact, I think the fact that we're all still here and mildly compass mentis on this fine December day is deserving of a round of applause. Existing in a post-pandemic 21st century world is something that is difficult. And the fact that every single one of you is doing it is more than worthy of celebration. Life can be scary and difficult. Being a teenager is often weird and confusing. Being a teenager in a post-pandemic world is a scary, difficult, weird, confusing, wonderful mess. And I think the fact that all of these lovely people standing outside are doing it is absolutely freaking incredible and more than worthy of celebrating. And for those of us online, it's worth celebrating whether you're getting an award tonight or not. Tonight we are here to celebrate those amongst us who have gone the extra mile, who have managed to achieve great things in spite of all of the difficulties in their paths, who managed not only to survive the chaos that was 2022, but who thrived in it. To every single nominee here this evening, I'm not sure if they can hear me, but I'm going to say it anyway. Well done. Every single one of you is amazing. I am so honored to get to share this evening, to be a part of this wonderful community, so thank you. And to those of us who are not here, maybe someone who wasn't nominated for the award that you wanted, it does not make you any less worthy of celebrating. You have more than enough time to achieve whatever you set your mind to, and to shine like the star that you are, and we will all be here to watch. Just like we're here this evening, to celebrate these wonderful young people. If 2022 is taught me anything at least, it's that it's so important to celebrate the little moments in life, the little achievements, the little string of events that we get to call a day, a life. But it is just as important to celebrate and acknowledge the big achievements. And so, without further ado, let the Christ begin.
opportunity to explain how we select the awards for the evening. And it seems like the names and hats work, so congratulations to all of your children. So our awards are divided into 4 categories, namely Star Sociability, Star Effort, Star Attitude, and Star Academics, which are all based on the students' achievements, including improvement, resourcefulness, consistency, accomplishments, and phenomenal performance. Our highest accolade is the Mean Star Award, which recognizes the significant achievement across the aforementioned performance criteria. Well done to all our award winners. Enjoy the evening.
Alrighty, so we've had an amazing appetizer. We've had an amazing appetizer. Now we're going to really jump into the main, the business of what we're doing here. Good evening to all of you who joined us on site and to everybody who's streaming. My name is Lynette Wenya and I am the Minister of Funding at our school, so I was asked to do this exciting job. So I'm just going to ask you to hold the applause. As Mrs. Fernandez said, we've got a couple of categories. So I'm going to ask you to hold the applause, and when I do this, okay. So yeah, and just remember it's still coming, and we've got our ESKOM break, so hang in there, everybody. Okay, so our first award is a Star Attitude Award. It's the Spunky Spirit Award, and this certificate is awarded to Bafana Botma for enthusiasm and faithfulness. You will notice that a few of our students aren't here tonight, so we'll just keep it moving. Our next award is the Star Attitude Award. It is the Spunky Spirit Award, and this is awarded to Vanini Makulu for enthusiasm and positivity. The next award is another Attitude Award, and it's the Positive Participator Award. And this certificate is awarded to Adrian Skalko for courage and enthusiasm. The next award, another Attitude Award for pure enthusiasm, is awarded to Joshua Young for consistently embracing all spheres of school life. The next award is the Pure Enthusiasm Award. This certificate is awarded to Tamara Bear for consistently embracing all spheres of school life. The next Attitude Award is a Community Service Award, something that is very, very important to us here at Edu 360. And this certificate is awarded to Jessica Woodward for consistent service to the community outside of the school. Our next Attitude Award is the Big Brother Award. This certificate is awarded to Daniel Bate for developing caring and strong leadership qualities. The next Big Brother Award goes to Sia Naidu, also for developing caring and strong leadership qualities. Our next Galaxy Award, still in the Attitude category, the Asteroid Improvement Award. This certificate is awarded to G. Mr. G. Technical difficulties, fun times. Are we good to go, Mr. G?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We have another Attitude Award, the Positive Participator Award. This certificate is awarded to Alessandro Petros for enthusiasm and an inquiring mind. The next attitude award in the Galaxy range, this is the Asteroid Award. Mr. G. Mr. G. The Asteroid Improvement Award. This certificate is awarded to Michael O'Sullivan for improving focus and using expression positively. The next Galaxy Award for Comet Improvement, this certificate is awarded to Alex Frank for consistently attempting to follow the correct path. Another Star Attitude Award in the Galaxy range is the Comet Improvement Award. This certificate is awarded to Hugo Correa for striving towards meeting expectations. The following Constellation Improvement Award is awarded to Donatella Matase for constantly attempting to follow the correct path. The next Attitude Award, the Double Star Resourcefulness Award, is awarded to Damien Fick for ingenuity and always finding a way forward. The next Star Attitude Award, this is the Double Star Resourcefulness Award. This certificate is awarded to Karen Barrow for always creating her own unique path. Our next Attitude Award is the Equinox Resourcefulness Award. This certificate is awarded to Ludovic Nkulu for consistently taking initiative. Our next award is the Orbital Consistency Award. This certificate is awarded to Azaria Khan for consistently reaching the goal. Our next Attitude Award is the Quasar Consistency Award. This certificate is awarded to Daniel Hugh for consistently exceeding expectations. Our next award is the Shooting Star Accomplishment Award. This certificate is awarded to Simpiwe Hatele for striving towards excellence. Our next award is the Constellation Improvement Award. This certificate is awarded to Jessica Trigger for rising to all challenges in most subjects. Our next Effort Award, now we've gone into the effort category, is the Constellation Improvement Award. This certificate is awarded to Tamara Bear for consistent improvement and focus. Our next Effort Award is the Constellation Improvement Award. This certificate is awarded to Azaria Khan for rising all challenges. Our next Effort Award is the Radiant Consistency Award. This certificate is awarded to Caitlin Vanier for consistent dedication and commitment to her work. Another Star Effort Award that we have tonight is the Comet Improvement Award. This certificate is awarded to Ricardo Cazola for consistently striving to improve. Our next Star Effort Award is the Comet Improvement Award. This certificate is awarded to Luke Naka for working towards self-development and improvement. And now we can have a round of applause for all our efforts. We are now going towards, I have skipped one award as my Fiona has mentioned to me. So one more effort award goes to, this is for the Cosmic Ray Improvement Award, and this is awarded to Risha Chabalala for consistently self-improving. And as I said before, we are now entering the academic awards, and these are academic specific awards. So our first Star Academic Award is the Shooting Star Accomplishment Award. This certificate is awarded to Donatella Matrase for excellence in performing arts. Our next Star Academic Award, the Shooting Star Accomplishment Award, is awarded to Owami Dada for excellence in performing arts. Our next Star Academic Award is the Rising Star Accomplishment Award. This certificate is awarded to Alessandro Sati Pedros for excellence in performing arts. Our next Star Academic Award is the Rising Star Accomplishment Award. This specific certificate is awarded to Simpiwe Hadere for most promising performance. Our next Star Academic Award is the Comet Improvement Award, and this certificate is awarded to Ompile Mokane for improvement in all academic areas. Our next academic award is the Orbital Consistency Award. This certificate is awarded to Miles Harding for maintaining a high standard across all areas. Our next Star Academic Award in the Galaxy range is the Comic Improvement Award. This certificate is awarded to Alex Frank for improvement across most subject areas. Our next Star Academic Award is the Quasar Consistency Award, and this certificate is awarded to Nino Wetego for consistent academic performance. So well done, all the way from New Zealand. Our next Star Academic Award in the Galaxy range is the Constellation Improvement Award. This certificate is awarded to Zanele Makulu for improvement across all subject areas. Our next Star Academic Award in the Galaxy range is the Lightspeed Consistency Award, and this certificate goes to Daniel Hugh for improving confidence in his academic ability. Our next Star Academic Award in the Galaxy range is the Asteroid Improvement Award, is awarded to Andrew Hansen for improving confidence in his academic ability. Our next academic award is a Quasar Consistency Award, and this is awarded to Kieran Barrow for consistent academic performance across across all areas. The next award in the Galaxy range is an Asteroid Improvement Award, and this is awarded to Azaria Khan for dedication to always improving on her personal life. The next award in the Galaxy range, still an academic award, is the Equinox Resourcefulness Award. This is awarded to Damien Fick for persevering to design solutions to tricky situations. Our next academic award is the Orbital Consistency Award, and this is awarded to Michael John Domingo for consistent academic performance across all areas. Still in the academic section, our next award in the Galaxy section is the Constellation Improvement Award, and this is awarded to Ishe Chabalala for consistent academic performance across most subject areas. Our next academic award is the Lightspeed Consistency Award, and this is awarded to Caitlin Shamia for consistent hard work in all subjects. The next award is the Rising Sun Accomplishment Award, and this is awarded to Stratton Kilbourne for excellence in science and maths. Our next academic award is the Shooting Star Accomplishment Award, and this is awarded to Noah Koa for rising to the challenge in most areas, including awareness. We have the Asteroid Improvement Award next, and this is awarded to Daniel Anser for improving confidence in his academic ability. Our next academic award is the Equinox Resourcefulness Award, and this certificate is awarded to Daniel Bate for consistently seeking out the best possible answers and solutions. Our next academic award is the Shooting Star Accomplishment Award. This certificate is awarded to Nonyame Zelontivane for consistent academic performance across all areas. Our next academic award is the Asteroid Improvement Award, and this is awarded to Jessica Woodward for improvement across most areas. The Quasar Consistency Award is awarded to Hugo Correa for consistent academic performance across all subject areas. Our next academic award, still in the Galaxy range, is the Quasar Consistency Award, and this certificate is awarded to Samkira Hadere for consistent academic performance across all subject areas. Our next academic award is the Asteroid Improvement Award, and this certificate is awarded to Riz Vandermeerga for improvement across most subject areas. Our next star academic award, still in the Galaxy range, is the Rising Sun Accomplishment Award. This certificate is awarded to Alex Hadipetros for consistency in effort and dedication in most subject areas. Our next star academic award is the Trailblazer Phenomenon Award, and this certificate is awarded to Chaz Flanagan for excellence in all subjects. Now we are going to give a big round of applause to all our academic and now we are going into the Sociability Awards, something that's still very important to us here at Education 360. Our first Star Sociability Award in the Cosmic Ray section is awarded to Toby Iluyayami for improving social adaptability. And our next Star Sociability Award, still in Galaxy, is the Starshine Accomplishment Award, and this is awarded to Stephanie Pringle for finding her voice and improving the social interactions. Our next Star Sociability Award is the Orbital Consistency Award. This certificate is awarded to Sia Naidu for optimistic and cheerful attitude, developing skills to manage all interactions with grace. Our next award is the Cosmic Ray Improvement Award, and this is awarded to Vladimir Mishra for improving social awareness and adaptability. Our next Sociability Award is the Orbital Consistency Award, and this is awarded to Aitan Greenblatt for cheerful and optimistic attitude and developing greater social adaptability. Still in the Sociability Awards, we have the Trailblazer Phenomenon Award, and this certificate is awarded to Joshua Young for breaking boundaries and defying the odds. Our next Sociability Award is the Rising Star Accomplishment Award, and this is awarded to Alex Hadjipetros for setting high standards for himself and Our next Sociability Award is the Orbital Consistency Award, and this is awarded to Daniel Bate for a cheerful disposition and meaningful social interactions. Our next Orbital Consistency Award is for Daniel Hugh, and he is awarded this certificate because he's cheerful and improving meaningful social interactions. Our next and final Sociability Award is the Quasar Consistency Award, and this is awarded to Simple Hatere for cheerful disposition and meaningful social interactions. And we have one or two Sociability Awards that I may have missed. Ludovic Nikudu for consistently improving social adaptability. And our last Sociability Award is for Adrian Scalco for maintaining academic standards. Thank you everyone for being a great crowd. If that was the main, Mrs. Mack is going to bring the mains 2.0.
Good evening, everyone. I haven't said good evening to you yet. And we have our last 2 awards that we need to award. And Ara, would you please come up? Can you please present this award? And the awards that I'm presenting now are our 2 awards which are the highest awards that you can earn at Edu 360. You You earn these awards at the exit level of your schooling only if you have achieved in all 4 areas: academics, sociability, adaptability, and effort. Okay, and the first one goes to Julia Bronzel. Going to present the next one, and the next Green Star Award goes to Joshua Young. So that's our awards done, but I couldn't have an awards without recognizing one of our staff, and you can probably guess which staff, but that is not going to recognize. Dr. Foss. Dr. Jackie I'm sure we wanted to hear Dr. Neil
Sure. I must say that you're putting me on the spot here.
You do this after the stairs.
So I must say it's quite I'm quite in a fortunate position to be able to speak to you today. So thank you for the opportunity, Ms. Mack. You know, since I started at Edu 360, it's been a journey, and all that I wanted to do 2 things. The first thing was to inspire students, and also to contribute towards the field of neurodiversity. And I must say that, especially you parents that are sitting here today, your children have changed me as a person, and I believe that I basically inspire